All right, I'm Ben Rosewell. I'm the ambassador here in Caracas, but also a longtime advocate of using social media for the work that we do in foreign affairs, whether it's in trade promotion, political work, consular outreach to Canadian citizens, essentially anything that we do, engaging Canadians or engaging the world. I believe that we need to be doing on the internet as well. I was excited about this pilot project on the use of social media because I think it's exactly what the department and our embassies need to do right now. We've moved into a second phase as a department in using social media. Now it's clear to everyone, ever since Minister Baird's speeches in Silicon Valley earlier in 2014, that we are in the business of using social media for the work that we do in the Department of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Development. Now we need to figure out exactly how we do that. How do we work that into our day-to-day work in a place like this in Caracas? And this is where this pilot project is helping us. We are sharing our experiences in Caracas, and we're benefiting from the experiences that our other embassies are sharing with us. The work here at this embassy in social media started just a few weeks before I arrived. I came here in March of 2014, and by February I think we had just started our first Twitter account. Now it's 4 or 5 months later, and it's amazing how far we've come in that time. We now have over 2,000 followers on Twitter. We're really active on LinkedIn. We're just starting a YouTube channel. We're starting to submit more and more videos so that you've got that more dynamic content. We're thinking about Facebook. It's all come together extremely quickly, and I think one thing that we've learned is that for an embassy like ours to use social media, the main challenge isn't so much time. You hear a lot about this, so how are we going to find the time to do this on top of everything else that we've done? I think what we've learned is that social media is not like an extra frivolous thing that you do after your real work is done. It's about communicating, and communicating is central to everything that we do. If you're a trade commissioner, you're communicating with clients, you're communicating with local authorities, you're communicating with industry associations. Same thing for any other program. We don't hire extra people to do our emails or to make our phone calls for us. So I've felt strongly that we shouldn't be hiring extra people to do our social media work. It should be incorporated into the work that we did. The main challenge I think that we've discovered, and the main experience we've had is not just shoehorning our social media work time into whatever else we're doing, but it's finding a different way to actually deliver the core services that we deliver. And I think we've actually been very successful in seeing how we can actually do a better job as trade commissioners using social media, how we can do a better job as political officers by using social media. That it's not an additional burden, it's actually a way of being more effective at our core business. At the management level, some of the decisions that I've taken in order to help this embassy transition into the digital age, as it were, and to start incorporating social media in its everyday work were two. So the first is reflecting it in our performance agreement so that it's clear that this is our job. This is not sort of an extra. This is what I expect of each of our program managers and what they expect of their employees in turn. That helps people try and figure out the balance of how much time they put into one tool for their work versus other tools. The second is that we have created a committee across the embassy in order to make our work more efficient and to share the workload a little bit, because there's some things that don't fit neatly into one person's job package. Particularly when you're engaging into a dynamic two-way conversation with the public. I mean, the public's not always going to know that if I want to talk about, if I want to talk to the Embassy of Canada about education issues, I'm going to talk to Victor Stott. No, they just respond to our Twitter feeds, and then we kind of have to figure out what's the best way of responding to that. And like any other challenge in an embassy, when something doesn't fit clearly into one person's job description, you do it collectively through a committee. So we have a really dynamic social media committee that Louis Coughlin chairs, but that includes every single part of this embassy, and quite a lot of people actually. There's quite a lot of enthusiasm for the work of the embassy online, and so I've been really pleased to see the response of the employees, some who already had an idea about this stuff, and some of whom for which this was brand new. Quite a lot of enthusiasm, quite a lot of energy, quite a lot of commitment, and we've seen some pretty impressive results. So my hope for this pilot project, as well as for the use of social media more generally by the Trade Commissioner Service and the department as a whole, is that we figure out two ways to take advantage of the principal advantages of social media. There's two main benefits to social media. One of them is that you reach a much vaster audience than an embassy would normally do. For example, in China with the Weibo account reaching something like 400 or 500,000 people every single day. It's something that embassies are not normally able to operate on that scale. The second is the interactivity of social media. So we're able to have a two-way conversation with a vast number of people. In order to take advantage of these two benefits of social media, we have to act differently and we have to work differently. We have to be much more responsive. We have to be willing to engage in a back and forth with a much wider set of people than before. And we also have to think even more, I think, about what our public image is. What is the message that we're trying to convey to Canada? Because we're conveying it not just in individual meetings and one-on-one discussions, but we're on the world stage every time we're online. And so we've got this incredible tool to project what Canada is, what advantages Canada has as an economic partner, as a trading partner, as a nation with the values that we have that we represent. And what I'm hoping we can find is a way of measuring the concrete benefit that we have. I think most of us working with these tools have an intuitive sense of how beneficial they are to us, because you can see that feedback immediately from our partners engaging with us on Twitter and on LinkedIn, on whatever platform we're using. And what I'm hoping is that as a department, we can also figure out how to recognize that, how to measure it, how to build it into the way that we do business as a Department of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Development.